Let's talk about a guy named Suresh. Suresh moved from Mumbai to Toronto, and he crushed it. He's got a great job in tech, a nice condo downtown, and a Canadian passport. But here's the thing about Suresh. When he goes to any community event, he dials his Indian pride up to 11. He's the first one to start a Bharat Mata Ki Jai chant at a cricket match viewing. At the Diwali festival, he wears the most elaborate shimmering kurta, making sure everyone sees it. He's constantly posting on social media about India's ancient glory and modern achievements, getting into comment wars with anyone who dares to say anything remotely critical. On the surface, it looks like pure, unfiltered patriotism. To most people, Suresh is just a guy who really loves his home country. His Canadian friends see it as a colorful part of his personality, a vibrant expression of his roots. His fellow Indian immigrants might see him as a community leader, someone who isn't afraid to show where he comes from. They might think, wow, Suresh is so passionate, he truly keeps our culture alive here. They see the performance of pride and take it at face value. It's loud, it's public, and it's unapologetic. For the average person, the analysis stops right there. He's just a proud dude being proud. End of story. But a predator, someone who studies human behavior for malicious reasons, sees something completely different. They don't just see the loud celebration, they see the need behind it. Why is Suresh so loud? Why does he need everyone to know how Indian he is? A predator sees this over-the-top nationalism not as strength but as a giant, flashing neon sign pointing to a deep insecurity. They see a man who feels a desperate need for validation and respect. He might feel like a small fish in a big Canadian pond, so he overcompensates by wrapping himself in the biggest, boldest flag he can find. This intense need for external approval is a vulnerability, a crack in the armor. A predator thinks, this man's ego is fragile. He's not just proud, he's hungry for acknowledgement. They recognize that his identity is heavily tied to this public performance of patriotism. He needs to be seen as the most Indian guy in the room. This isn't just a personality trait to them, it's a lever, it's a button they can press. The predator understands that if you can control what makes a person feel proud and respected, you can control the person. The show isn't the story, the reason for the show is. Now, how does a predator use this information? Let's imagine someone with bad intentions, we'll call him Alex, meets Suresh at a business networking event. Alex doesn't see a proud Indian man, he sees a target. He's listened, he's observed, and he's identified Suresh's core emotional need to be seen as an important and respected representative of his culture. So, Alex doesn't talk about business or tech, he starts by praising India's recent space program or its economic growth, using very specific details he looked up just for this. He makes Suresh feel seen and understood on a level that others don't. The next step is to inflate that ego. Alex might say something like, Suresh, it's incredible how you champion your heritage. People like you are the true ambassadors. You have so much influence in the community. He positions Suresh as a powerful figure, a pillar of the Indian diaspora. This is music to Suresh's ears. It's the exact validation he has been craving. Alex isn't just being nice, he's grooming him. He is building a foundation of trust based entirely on feeding Suresh's emotional hunger. Suresh starts to see Alex not just as a friend, but as one of the few people who gets him. Once the hook is set, the predator starts the real play. Alex comes to Suresh with a business opportunity. He frames it as something special, something just for them. He might say, Suresh, I have this investment idea, a brilliant startup linking Canadian tech with Indian innovators. But it needs a leader, someone respected in the community, someone like you to give it legitimacy. He is not selling an investment. He is selling Suresh a starring role in the story he already tells himself. He's offering Suresh the chance to become the official, powerful cultural bridge he so desperately wants to be. The final move is to create a sense of urgency tied directly to that ego. Alex might say, we have to move fast, Suresh, before someone else grabs this. A man of your standing can't miss this chance to make a real mark for your community. The fear of missing out is now linked to the fear of losing his status as the most proud and most influential. Suresh, blinded by the appeal to his ego and the vision of himself as a great leader, transfers a large sum of money without doing proper checks. The predator didn't just steal money, he weaponized Suresh's own pride against him. This isn't just about nationalism. Predators look for these signals everywhere. Let's take another story. Meet Tommy, a 55-year-old construction worker on vacation in Mexico with his wife. Tommy feels he's getting older, maybe a bit invisible. So at the resort pool, he acts like a big shot. He buys flashy, expensive cocktails he can't really afford. He talks loudly about his business back home, exaggerating his success. And most importantly, he directs all his energy towards the groups of young women at the pool, trying to get their attention with loud jokes and grand gestures, while his wife sits quietly reading a book. To most people at the resort, Tommy is just a bit cringe. They might roll their eyes and think he's having a midlife crisis. The young women he's trying to impress probably see him as a harmless, slightly pathetic old guy. They might laugh it off or ignore him completely. His wife might just see it as his usual annoying behavior, something she's learned to tolerate over the years. They see the outward action, a man seeking attention, and dismiss it as a simple, common character flaw. They don't see the deep, exploitable need that drives this behavior. But a predator, say a local con artist, sees Tommy's actions as a distress signal. They don't see a confident man, they see a deeply insecure one. Tommy isn't just being loud, he's screaming, "I need to feel young, desirable, and important." His desperate attempts to get validation from younger women reveal a powerful vulnerability. The predator understands that Tommy feels overlooked and is starving for an ego boost. He is practically begging for someone to tell him that he's still got it, that he's still a man of value and appeal. This knowledge is a key. The predator knows that the easiest way to get to Tommy is not through his wallet, at least not at first. It's through his ego. The predator can use this need to manipulate him in countless ways. They know that if they offer Tommy the one thing he craves, the feeling of being admired and desired, he will become incredibly compliant. His insecurity isn't just a personality quirk, it's an unlocked door. The con artist sees this, and knows exactly how to walk right through it, ready to lead Tommy into a scam, a robbery, or worse. So, what's the big difference here? It's about perception. Regular people see the world in one dimension. They see the action itself. They see Suresh's loud patriotism or Tommy's desperate flirting, and they judge the action on its surface. They think, that's a proud guy or that's an annoying guy. Their analysis is straightforward and usually concludes that it's not their problem. They see the what but rarely stop to consider the why. It's a normal, efficient way to go through life. We can't psychoanalyze every person we meet at the pool. A predator, however, thinks in 3 dimensions. They see the action, but they are far more interested in the hidden emotion and the unmet need driving it. They are masters of reading the subtext of human behavior. To them, extreme pride isn't strength, it's a sign of a deep need for respect. Desperate attention-seeking isn't confidence, it's a sign of profound insecurity. They look for the emotional voids in people because they know that these voids are the easiest entry points for manipulation. They don't see people, they see a collection of levers and buttons connected to ego, fear, and desire. The lesson here is not to stop being proud of who you are or to hide your personality. It's about self-awareness. It's about understanding that the way we express our feelings can broadcast our deepest vulnerabilities to the wrong people. When our need for validation, respect, or attention becomes so loud and so public, it can drown out our own common sense. We become so focused on getting that emotional need met that we fail to see the trap being laid for us. The predator counts on this blindness. So the final thought is this: be mindful of your emotional volume. Know what you are feeling and why you are feeling it. It's okay to be proud, but ask yourself if you are performing that pride for others' approval. It's okay to want to feel good about yourself, but be careful if you find yourself desperately seeking that feeling from strangers. Predators are listening, they are watching, and they are looking for those whose emotional needs are shouting so loudly that they can't hear the danger approaching. Don't let your own insecurity be the weapon someone else uses against you.